Dear students, welcome to Mavericks English classes. In this video, we are going to discuss a very important chapter of the first flight book of grade 10 English, that is from the diary of Anne Frank, right? This is very important, keeping in mind that you can expect questions from this chapter, in the various formats. Moreover, many students told me that this is one of the most difficult chapter they are finding in the entire syllabus of grade 10 English. So I decided to make a video on this chapter so that it can be beneficial to all my students as well, right? So before I start, I'll just inform you that in this video we'll be talking about the summary of the diary of Anne Frank, from the diary of Anne Frank in detail, and I will give you the link for the important board pattern questions in the description of this video actually, right? You can find the link there. But before I go ahead and give you the link, I will also inform you that you might not get the same questions in the examination, but if you go to these question answers, you should be able to answer any other question based on the chapter that you might get in the examination, right? So let's begin with the chapter from the diary of Anne Frank, right? This story, this chapter, this passage is based on the background of the Second World War. It was during the days when Hitler came into power in Germany, right? And his party, Nazi party, resumed the power. And during those days, the Nazi party was on a mission to kill as many Jews as possible. They were persecuting the Jews, and also they were putting them into concentration camps where the living condition was worse and people were dying. Like millions of Jews were killed and massacred, and the remaining, whoever was remaining, they died in the worst conditions of the concentration camps actually. During those days, right, there was a girl named Anne Frank, right? Her full name was Annalise Mary Anne Frank, right? She actually was in on a hiding. She was a Jewish girl, right? German-born Jewish girl who was in a hiding in Netherlands, in Amsterdam, right? But what happened was that Germany captured, occupied Netherlands as well, and then she had to move with her family and friends and go into hiding in her father's office. Her father's name was Otto Frank, and they had to spend 2 years in her father's office building in Amsterdam itself, actually, right? And after that, the Germans actually found them and brought the entire Frank family, Otto Frank's family, and Anne Frank's family to the concentration camp where Anne Frank died. And her father returned to Amsterdam because her father was the only survivor from the concentration camp of the Frank family that returned to Amsterdam. And when he returned to Amsterdam, he found a diary written by Anne Frank actually. And he found the diary a unique record of the happenings that and the feelings and thoughts of Anne Frank, and he decided to get it published actually. And since then, this diary has been published into many languages. Many television programs and theatrical programs have been made on this. Moreover, there has been an opera that has also been made on this, right? So Anne Frank is one of the most discussed and one of the most renowned Holocaust victims. The Holocaust that occurred during the Second World War in Germany on the Jewish population, actually, right? So we will discuss the diary. The passage begins with Anne Frank's thought, actually, right? The passage that is from the diary of Anne Frank. The starting is not from what is written in the diary, but from where Anne Frank started to write the diary, actually, right? So Anne Frank states that that she was like, she got the diary presented to her, gifted to her by her father on the 13th birthday on her 13th birthday, and like she was very feeling unusual. Strange feelings were coming into her as to whether she should start writing the diary or not, right? Because she was feeling unusual or strange, because this was the first time that she was writing a diary, and moreover, she also felt that nobody would be interested in reading a 13-year-old girl's past experiences actually. But still keeping these feelings away, and she decided to write the diary actually, right? She It was not that she did not have any friends actually. She had friends actually, right? But there was nobody very close to her, and she was not able to discuss her true feelings with her friends and her family members, right? So she actually personified the diary as a friend and gave the diary the name Kitty actually, right? And she also feels that that paper has more patience than people, because she thought that that the paper, that is the diary, is not going to convey her secrets to anybody. Moreover, people have low patience level, and they have their priorities in life actually. They have different priorities in life, whereas the diary, the paper, will be her own, and the entire, she can convey her feelings, she can discuss the feelings in the diary without any kind of inhibitions actually. So she feels that the diary, the paper, has more patience than people actually, right? Moreover, she also describes that her father was the most loving person, as he gifted the diary to her on her 13th birthday, right? So when now coming to the diary actually, it was on the 20th of June 1942. She starts writing her experiences. She recalls that that it was in the class, the results in her school, the results were going to be announced actually, and the entire class was very nervous. The other students were betting with each other that you might pass and I will fail, and he might pass and he might not fail. Such kind of conversation was happening in the class actually. Anne Frank and her friend were thinking that the class was full of so dumb students that a quarter of the class should have failed actually. But then she also says that teachers are the most unpredictable creature on the earth, and she expected some unexpected results in the class actually, right? So yeah, so the story begins from there. She also recalls her mathematics teacher, Mr. Keesing. When the results were going to be announced, she was confident that she would pass in all the other subjects, but she was unsure of only one subject, that was mathematics. And she recalls that how Mr. Keesing was, that is her mathematics teacher, was irritated with her over talkative nature, Anne Frank's over talkative nature actually. So one day, Mr. Keesing, since he was irritated with the over talkative nature of Anne, he gave her extra homework as punishment. He told her to write an essay on a chatterbox, right? So Anne Frank felt very weird, this homework as a kind of a weird thing actually, and she decided that she will write something that would be a good reply to Mr. Keesing. So she wrote in the essay that she has inherited the trait of talkativeness from her mother, and there's nothing much that can be done for some traits that is inherited, right, from the parents or from the elders actually. So there can nothing be done actually. So Mr. Keesing was quite amused at this essay actually, this reply actually. But then Anne Frank continued with her talkative nature. So Mr. Keesing gave her another homework. He told her to write an essay on the topic, an incorrigible chatterbox. She wrote the essay and gave it to Mr. Keesing. Mr. Keesing observed Anne Frank for two periods actually, two lessons actually, but then he was not able to tolerate it. And then again he gives her the homework to write an essay on quack, 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 goes Mrs. Chatterbox, Mistress Chatterbox, right? So yeah, after writing twice on the same topic, Anne was out of thoughts actually. So she took the help of her friend Sani, and she wrote a poem actually. The poem states that there was a mother duck who lived with her husband, Father Swan, and three ducklings actually, right? And the three ducklings were bitten to death by the father as they quacked too much actually. So Mr. Keesing was not able to stop his laugh, couldn't help laughing at this poem. Actually, he recited the poem in front of the entire class actually, and Anne Frank goes on talking uninterruptedly, right? So this is the story actually, right? This that how Anne Frank remembers her mathematics teacher, and how she was able to change a strict teacher into a little light-hearted teacher actually. So we can conclude that from this chapter that students need to talk, students need to have fun to be mentally fit. Okay, so this was the summary of the chapter from the diary of Anne Frank. You can find the question answers in the description link below this video actually, and I hope that you go ahead and prepare well for the board examinations. Thank you.